Our Champions League campaign begins today, and we have a very tough group, including Bruges, Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain. We need to win both games against Bruges to stand any chance at all of qualifying. And it begins today at home to Bruges, a game we must win. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to A Season with Vila, a save I am really enjoying because this is how I used to play Football Manager, diving deep into the data hub and the chalkboard to try and win football matches, and so far it's working out just fine. And today we begin our Champions League campaign against Club Brugge in a very, very difficult group that includes Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain. We need to win this game today to have any chance of getting through this group and through to the next stage of the Champions League. And just quickly to recap, we have already won all our games. We have won all our Premier League games. We have beaten West Ham, beaten Newcastle, beaten Southampton, beaten Nottingham Forest and beaten Leicester. And long may this continue. But we've done it through hard work and identifying issues within the tactic that we are using, and there's still one or two issues that we need to clear up. But before we go on, if you are a brand new visitor, welcome to the channel. And you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, like and communicate with me. All this helps to promote the channel. And thank you for all the support that I've been getting. But talking of Club Brugge, not only am I looking at the data hub, I'm looking anywhere I can for potential ways to win this. When I look through the players, what I can see very plainly is that all these players seem to have a weak left foot. This means they are stronger on their right side and likely to be favouring that, and we shall see if they do when we come to study things in the data hub. But we can clearly see that 8 of the outfield players have a weak left foot, and that is good news because remember Newcastle, well, that was my first thought too, and that is something that we might be able to use in order to overcome the challenge that we're about to face. So we had at least one thing to go on, and so my next stop was to go to the team report for Bruges. It had just come in on the Wednesday. I thought we'd go and have a look at the scout report, and I could not believe my eyes. And they looked to me like a lot better of a team than I had given them credit for. And so my immediate reaction was to wonder if this was to do with their league and not Europe in comparison. So I went to do a comparison of the two teams. And technically, I think it kind of looks a bit even. We possibly edged the technicals, and then mentally I think we were a bit stronger. Mentally, physically we were definitely stronger. If we looked at their defence, I think we had a better defence than they did, and midfield, apart from teamwork, which they had in abundance, I think we edged it there, and we edged it in our attacking prowess. And so I'm kind of wondering what that team report was about. So I thought I need to check this out. So let's go to the data hub and we'll go to next opponent. And they play with a wing play style. I've got some information here, but over on the right I've got another piece of information that they are a poor team compared to the quality that we possess. So I'm then thinking, okay, this is not a very good team. It's just that scout report is based on what they do in their own league. So I thought I'd go and have a look at their pass map for their last game, and there's no information available, and that was pretty much the story. There was no information available in the data hub apart from the fact that they were a poor team and they played in a wing play style. So I went back to the scout report now and went to the strengths and weaknesses, and I decided I need to go through this. And I started, because the list was smaller, I started with the weaknesses. And just at the bottom here, it says formations used. And 4-2-3-1, which they play, has contributed to conceding an average of 3 clear-cut chances per 90 minutes. And then formations face, they have been vulnerable playing against a 4-2-3-1. So I had another piece of information. So now I had 3 pieces of information at least. They were a poor team compared to us. They were very weak on the left-hand side, and they don't like playing against a 4-2-3-1. Now, I remembered when I had set up our 4-3-3, as you remember, it was in view of the fact that we were going to be playing stronger teams coming up, and I wanted to strengthen the midfield area. But I do have a ready-made 4-2-3-1, which we haven't used for a few games, and so we switched to the 4-2-3-1. And I decided that we would just do that because they were vulnerable playing against the 4-2-3-1. So we wouldn't focus on the other thing that we had found, the stronger on the right-hand side, not at this point in time. And that's all we could do in terms of setting up. If they were a weaker team than us, then we were going to hit this game hard. We're going to play in a positive mentality. We'd picked a team that was rotated a little bit. We'd given games to Matson. We rested Digne on the left. And then Onana came in and Philogene came in. Bailey came back into the team. So we'd taken the opportunity to rest some players as well, given that we were allegedly a much stronger team. And this is what happened. And so we had won another one, a really nice victory that, thanks to the little information that I had reminded me that we still have the 4-2-3-1, which had been very effective in the first 3 games of the season. And switching back had meant that we comfortably won the game. I did want to take a quick look in the data hub afterwards, and I wanted to go and see the shape of the team in particular. And when I loaded up the pass combinations and the heat map for Aston Villa, it looked very good to me. If we take off the heat map, we can see that we were passing everywhere on the pitch. Good linking both on the left and the right. We had a good central pivot who was Kamara again, who's doing a very good job as that pivot in midfield, controlling things, passing it about. And then Ollie Watkins, who looks isolated, actually had 18 pass combinations, which is pretty good for an advanced forward. I think we kept Bruges quiet. I did switch after half time. I did decide to add the instruction to play down the right up to about 70 minutes. So if we load the heat map over that, and then take out the pass combinations. If we now just load the heat map, remember that one, and load the heat map for the entire game, I think there was a little bit more passing going on during that time. But when I took Matty Cash off and brought on Courtney House, I felt that I needed to take that off, as he was not a fullback. He was a left-sided player operating on the right-hand side. So we took off focus play down the right side. I think overall we did an absolutely amazing job. We controlled the game, and it was an emphatic victory in the end. And so that's it for this episode. We'll do a fuller analysis next time as we look to play Crystal Palace. And that's probably going to be a tougher challenge for us, although I think they just lost in their last game. And so we'll do a further analysis of our own system and how we want to play against Crystal Palace in the next episode. And we'll see if we can keep this run going. We have to, at some point, concede a goal, because we've played 6 games now and we still have not conceded a goal. So Crystal Palace will be an interesting test. We'll do that in the next episode. And that's it for this episode. And if you are brand new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do all that stuff that you can see. And don't forget to like the video, because it does go a long way to helping out the channel. And all that remains to be said now is stay safe, take care, and we'll see you for the Palace game.